Hey, what's up, everybody? I want to welcome you to another episode of the Dreamerspro Daily Recap, where we give you a recap of all of the hot topics that we covered that day. You can catch them in their long format and also catch it fully streaming for free on Apple Podcasts. About 60% of the people out there who were going to pick a winner in the Dallas Mavericks series versus the Clippers picked the Dallas Mavericks. We ran a poll. 60% of the people on our channel, out of thousands of people, voted in the favor of the Mavs. And then going into that game, we found out moments before tip-off that Kawhi Leonard was not going to be available. But if you know anything about the Clippers, you know they're a very good team, very resilient team, well-coached team. So when I tuned into the game and saw that the Clippers were putting the beat down on the Dallas Mavericks, I was very, very excited. I was posting about it on the community section of our channel, all of that, right? And I said, I know that the Clippers right now are making a lot of their haters look pretty silly. And who's one of their haters? Who's one of the people that's not haters, but one of the people that's been picking against the Clippers was Paul Pierce, right? Paul Pierce, as you guys know, was a former Boston Celtics. He's from LA. Funny enough, and now he's one of the stars on Undisputed with Skip Bayless and Keyshawn Johnson. So while he was on there, they were talking about who they thought was going to win the series. And Skip Bayless ended up picking the Mavs to win the series, and Paul Pierce ended up picking the Mavs to win. So after the Clippers beat them in Game 1, they come back today to react to the show, or yesterday, whatever, how you want to say it. And Paul Pierce, in the midst of him trying to hate on the Clippers, he ends up actually totally confusing himself in the process. He was hating so much that he ended up being so confused that even Keyshawn Johnson was like, bro, what are you talking about? And every single point that Paul Pierce tried to bring up, Keyshawn just basically shot it down. So that's what we want to get into today. Before we even get into this exchange here, this video is brought to you by sponsor PrizePicks, which is the largest daily fantasy sports platform in North America. PrizePicks is really simple. Instead of just selecting a team, you just select 2 or more players, pick more or less their projected stats, and then you place your entry. For example, this week, I'm selecting 2 entries. Stephen Curry for more than 25 points, and then I got Anthony Davis for more than 2 blocks, and Damian Lillard for more than 4 3-pointers made. PrizePicks is also the only daily sports platform with an injury insurance policy. So for example, if you have a player who gets injured in the first half and doesn't return to the second half, that player gets automatically rebooted. What I also love about PrizePicks is that it offers weekly promotions like Taco Tuesdays. Each Tuesday, PrizePicks discounts select player projections up to 25% to provide even more value. So go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for a first deposit matchup up to $100. That's go to prizepicks.com/CLNS, use code CLNS for a first deposit match of up to $100. And remember, whenever you support this sponsor, you're supporting this channel. Thank you. So for those of you who didn't hear this exchange, I want to play it for you now, and then we're going to come back and give you guys our thoughts. Take a listen to this exchange here yesterday.
And then I saw Zubac look like Shaq Diesel. I'm like, is Shaq playing the way he just bullied the whole Mavericks team? And
he did.
All of a sudden, they couldn't score 30 points in the first half with 2 of the most dynamic scorers we've ever seen in this game. It just didn't make any sense. The Beard had a flashback. Zubac played the game of his life. And I just thought without Kawhi and with the way Dallas has been playing, that they would come out and really beat the Clippers. But it just didn't seem that way. I think James came out with something to prove. George Westbrook gave him a bolt of energy when he got in the game, and it was just lights out. And all you need sometimes in basketball is one quarter. I mean, they thoroughly dominated them in the first and second quarters. And then all of a sudden the Mavericks remembered how to play basketball. And then Kyrie comes alive and of course Luka comes alive and they figure some things out. But I still think in the end that the Mavericks will defeat the Clippers. It depends on how much they get from Kawhi, because I know Kawhi is coming back.
But as I told y'all before, as y'all praised the Dallas Mavericks all season long, especially toward the end, they was playing teams that were not very good. They went on some magical carpet ride where they were winning games.
12 out of 13.
12 out of 13.
Yep.
And I kept saying, man, they got to play the Clippers. That's a better team than what they've been beating. Okay, and a better coach than what they've been beating. Now we saw it. And we still sit up here acting like they didn't contribute to the lack of success in the second quarter that Luka had. No, they contributed to it. Whatever that was, they contributed to the way that they played. Now you say, well, they came back down the stretch. They never led not once in the entire game. That once upon a time it was down by 29-30.
29.
Okay? So they contributed to the deficiencies of the Dallas Mavericks.
Mavericks figured out something second half, though. They outscored the Clippers in the second half.
If I'm up by 30,
if you just take away that 8-point quarter, then Dallas, if you just take away the second quarter, Dallas wins the game. But, that's part of it.
You can't take it away.
But when I see them score 30 points in the third quarter, 34 points, and 33 points.
I'm up by 30.
Yeah.
I'm up by 30. So if you score 30 and I score 15, I'm still up.
Yeah, but I think they magically found something.
You lost. You didn't find nothing. What you found was Westbrook dunking on your head.
You know how it is in playoffs.
So you heard what Paul Pierce had to say there. Paul Pierce was totally confused. He was like, if you take away the second quarter, Keyshawn was like, how can you take away the second quarter? If you take away the second quarter, you have a totally different game. How can you do that? He's like, if you score 30 and I'm up 15 or whatever it is, and I'm up, if I'm up whatever, you score 30 and I score 15, I'm still up on you by 15 points and all of that stuff, right? Basically, I think what Paul Pierce is going through is that he really couldn't explain why the Dallas Mavericks ended up playing the way that they did. I personally believe that, to Skip Bayless's point later in the show, when they saw that Kawhi Leonard was not going to be playing, they probably psychologically relaxed. It's human nature, right? And I think the Clippers, they were not expecting the Clippers to come out there and hit them as hard as they did in that first quarter, which was something that Ty Lue emphasized to his players, that this is not a feel-out game. This is a game that you need to go out there and actually play. Listen, here's the way I see this thing going. I think the Clippers have a good chance of winning game 2, but I also think that Kawhi Leonard is coming back on game 2. Game 2 is on Tuesday, tomorrow. So he would have had that extended period of rest. I have heard with Coach Ty Lue that he's been doing some game stuff. So I think Kawhi Leonard would definitely come back. And if he comes back, then I think it makes it that much harder for the Dallas Mavericks to beat the Clippers, in my personal view, because now the Clippers have their best offensive weapon on the floor, right? And they also add another defender, which is one less screen that Luka Doncic can exploit. So really, the only real weak link out there is going to be most likely if it's a Zubac on that switch, right? So you have Kawhi Leonard, you have another scoring threat, and you have somebody that's going to force Luka Doncic, or at least I think try to force him to play some defense. Something else that Keyshawn Johnson brought up in that soundbite, because I thought he was hilarious, which was when they were talking about the great run that the Dallas Mavericks went on, they were like, they weren't really beating any quality teams. I think one of those teams was Miami. I think the other team was the Celtics. I could be wrong. But they weren't really playing top-tier teams, right? So now you're in a situation where you're playing a top-tier team and you get hit in the mouth. And he's like, the competition now has changed because now you have to play a good team consistently. It's not like the Mavs are playing the 9th seed. They're playing a seed that's above them. People keep seeming to forget this, and I think if the Clippers are able to find a way to bring Kawhi Leonard back, I think they get that much better. My hope is that they steal game 2. That they win game 2. It is not a guarantee, however, because the Dallas Mavericks do have Luka Doncic, they do have Kyrie Irving, and if one of those other Clippers players has an off night, it could really affect them. But in game 1, players like Norman Powell, who played exceptionally well, didn't really play that well. He didn't really have an impact. Hopefully, he can. I'm rooting for the Clippers to win game 2. If I had to pick, I would say the Clippers, but I'm not 100% sure because I don't know if Kawhi's playing. And even if he is playing, I don't know what kind of a wrinkle that will put into the offense and all of that. But it was pretty. That clip was so funny that I actually started to share it all over my social media pages. For example, by the way, if you're not following us on Instagram, our Dreamerspro main account is Dreamerspro, same name as the channel. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, my handle is CTABANZ. I shared it there. Me and a bunch of people were just having a laugh about it because Paul Pierce didn't really know what the hell to really say. But I understand, you make a pick. You don't want to be wrong. No one wants to be wrong when they make a pick. You want to justify your pick. But yesterday was just a pretty confusing game based on the way the Dallas Mavericks play. So as you guys know, the Lakers dropped game 1 against the Denver Nuggets. going into that game, the vast majority of us picked the Denver Nuggets to be victorious. Now, there are some people out there that are holding out hope. They think the Lakers are going to win. I don't think the Lakers are going to win. I think that if the Denver Nuggets win game 2, it puts all the pressure on the Lakers to go back home on game 3 and win game 3, because if they lose game 3, it's a wrap. The way I see the series going, and I think a lot of people do, is Denver wins game 1 and game 2, Lakers win game 3, Denver wins game 4, and then they close out this thing in 5. That's my personal prediction. Obviously, I can be 100% wrong. But in that loss with the Lakers comes the usual thing which comes with the Lakers, which is there must always be a fall, man. Someone must always take the blame. It's always somebody. This is the story. It cannot be that the Lakers played bad as a unit and the other team just outplayed them. There must be a culprit. There must be somebody to blame. I don't understand. And that's the case. That seems to be the case with this particular game. Coming out of this game, everybody's not looking at D'Angelo Russell. Really? Is D'Angelo Russell the guy that we're going to be blaming? But that's the person that they now seem to be blaming. So what happened? I was actually going through my phone. I was on the phone with my brother, and I opened up my phone, and I saw a clip from NBA on TNT, actually a quote from NBA on TNT, with Charles Barkley talking about whenever somebody loses with the Lakers, the Lakers are always going to blame somebody. So I ended up looking for the clip on YouTube to see what he said in its entirety. And essentially, they were kind of previewing the game between Lakers and Nuggets for game 2. But they were also talking about what happened in the last game. And in the midst of his monologue, he then also decides to basically call out what a lot of people think about the coverage with the Lakers, which is whenever the Lakers lose, somebody must always take the blame. So that's what we want to focus on. But before we even get into Charles Barkley's comments, this video is brought to you by our sponsor, PrizePicks, which is the largest daily fantasy sports platform in North America. PrizePicks is really simple. Instead of just selecting a team, you just select 2 or more players, pick more or less their projected stats, and then you place your entry. For example, this week, I'm selecting 2 entries. Stephen Curry for more than 25 points, and then I got Anthony Davis for more than 2 blocks, and Damian Lillard for more than 4 3-pointers made. PrizePicks is also the only daily sports platform with an injury insurance policy. So for example, if you have a player who gets injured in the first half and doesn't return to the second half, that player gets automatically rebooted. What I also love about PrizePicks is that it offers weekly promotions like Taco Tuesdays. Each Tuesday, PrizePicks discounts select player projections up to 25% to provide even more value. So go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for a first deposit match of up to $100. That's go to prizepicks.com/CLNS, use code CLNS for a first deposit match of up to $100. And remember, whenever you support this sponsor, you're supporting this channel. Thank you. So what we want to do is want to play exactly what Charles Barkley had to say. It's a very, very short clip, only about a minute or so or less. We want to play what he had to say. I want you guys to listen to it carefully, and then we're going to come back and give you guys our thoughts. Take a listen to what Charles Barkley had to say here.
We pointed out that 13-0 run in the third quarter, just past the midway point of the third quarter for 3 minutes and 12 seconds. And the key scorer in that run was Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Look, everybody scored in double figures, all the starters for Denver. Pope had his 12 in the second half.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. One thing you can always count on with the Lakers, they're going to throw somebody under the bus when they lose. Going back to Russell Westbrook, going back to Frank Vogel, now I guess it's D'Angelo Russell. If that's not D'Angelo Russell's man right there, just for the record. But I just love the way they just blame. Listen, man, the Denver Nuggets are a better team than the Lakers. I didn't like the way they called D'Angelo out after game 1, but he gets scum going on when he goes to Denver. The kid's not trying to miss shots, but they're beating them in every aspect of the game, Ernie. They're not just beating them at D'Angelo's position. You know, I hope he has a good game, but the Nuggets right now, they just a better team than the Lakers.
So you heard what Charles Barkley had to say there. Listen, what are my thoughts about this? I think Charles is saying something that we always think, which is whenever somebody loses with the Lakers, man, you always got to blame somebody else. And this has been the story. And he's correct to name the people that he mentioned. It goes all the way back to Frank Vogel. Or not even Frank Vogel, Luke Walton. Luke Walton wasn't a great coach. Okay, we got rid of Luke Walton. Let's go get Frank Vogel. We get Frank Vogel. He helps the team win a championship. Then all of a sudden, the team can't win Frank Vogel is a horrible coach. Then they go out there and they get Russell Westbrook. Everybody was up there twerking it up, high-fiving, kumbaya, and talking about, oh, we're going to win the championship, we're going to win the championship. The team doesn't even make the play-in tournament that season. Then all of a sudden it's Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook is a horrible player. Meanwhile, everybody thought they were going to win a championship that year. Then they finish with Russell Westbrook. Then they go ahead and get Darvin Ham. Then all of a sudden, Darvin Ham is not a great coach, even though he took them to the Western Conference Finals. Now every time you turn around as a Laker creator, whenever the Lakers lose a game, Darvin Ham can't coach. Nick Wright, Darvin Ham can't coach. Shannon Sharp, this guy can't coach. It's always Darvin Ham. And then now we get to the point where we're in the playoffs, and now they lose game one. Oh, now it's D'Angelo Russell's fault. They can't blame AD, and trust me, if they could, they would. If AD had played poorly, they would. But the elephant in the room is they're not going to blame LeBron. That's just the fact of the matter. They're not. LeBron scored 4 points in the fourth quarter. Who is the one that these people keep running around calling the GOAT? It's LeBron. He scored 4 points. To make matters worse, he only scored 8 points in the second half. And to even compound that is that he had more turnovers by himself than the Denver Nuggets had as a team. How that's not mentioned is beyond me. You gave away 7 possessions. You had 8 assists. Your net assist rating with net assist was 1. And we're going to put it all on D'Angelo Russell. So going into this game, we really thought, they said, oh, well, LeBron and those guys, they didn't cancel nothing out. They played a very good half, and you're supposed to play the other half. Then just today on Undisputed, I'm listening to Paul Pierce talk about, oh, LeBron looked tired. Really? So why is he even playing? If he's getting tired, then he should just go retire. Because chances are, if he got tired in game 1, he's going to get tired in game 2. And if he gets tired in game 2, he's going to get tired in game 4 of the following series if they're able to advance. So if that's going to be the excuse, then why even play? Why just retire then? If he's old, I hear a lot of people saying, oh, LeBron is 39 years old, so let him retire. If he's old, let him go sit down. Let somebody else play. Like get out the way. Let somebody else play. But if he's going to be old and he's going to play, then play. But you can't be there, oh, if they play, because if he play well, nobody will be talking about his age. In fact, they'll be using his age. Oh, he's a 39-year-old, man. He's doing these defying father time. It's just incredible to me, man. It is just incredible to me. But that's the way they roll, man. It's just, I don't know what happened to the Lakers. I used to be a Lakers supporter when Kobe was there, but now we just got into this weird vibe. Like, it's just weird. I don't support the Lakers no more, at least until LeBron, these guys. I can't deal with it. I can't deal with it. When the Lakers didn't underachieve, yes, the Lakers had a lot of expectations when Kobe was there. If they didn't win, there was a lot of pressure. But it wasn't like, let's blame this guy, let's blame that guy, let's blame this guy every day. Oh, they lose this guy. It's like, come on. Like if we lose the team. And Phil Jackson would never allow that. They couldn't blame the coach. You couldn't blame Kobe. Yeah, some games Pau Gasol and all that, but Kobe would used to defend Pau, although sometimes you get upset with him. But this one is like, it's been going on for years now. And Charles Barkley is absolutely correct, but some people love it, man. It's like a fetish for some people. You know, who are we going to blame? And there's always got to be a narrative. Who takes the blame here? Is it his fault? Is it that? It's like, yo. We witnessed 2 thrillers, but the one that we're all talking about right now is the thriller that took place between the Los Angeles Lakers and the Denver Nuggets yesterday. In that game, the Denver Nuggets at one point in the third quarter were down 22 points. 22 points. And I remember writing on the channel, and I said at that point, I would be stunned if the Denver Nuggets found a way to come back and win that game. I said I'll be stunned because it seems so improbable. But what happened? By the time we got to the fourth quarter, they made a bit of a run, and they ended up closing out that deficit to 10 points heading into the fourth quarter. And as I'm watching the game, I'm saying to myself, the Nuggets are not giving up. They're fighting. They're fighting. They're fighting. In the first half, Nikola Jokic really wasn't himself. So we get to the fourth quarter, and all of you guys are watching the game, so y'all pretty much know what happened. And all of a sudden, Jamal Murray, who was not himself, he starts getting hot. And I'm listening to the commentary of Jamal Crawford, basically saying, get a mid-range, He's getting his rhythm. He's slowly getting his rhythm. I'm like, bro, he's slowly getting his rhythm. They still down. And the game goes into the waning moments. And I think D'Angelo Russell hits a tough layup high off the glass. And then the Lakers get the ball. It's tie, I believe. And then LeBron has a wide open 3 after a push off of his former teammate KCP. And he misses the 3. The Nuggets secure the rebound. Jamal Murray comes up the court, gets a few screens, faded to the baseline over Anthony Davis's outstretched arms, and hit the buzzer beater. And I just started shouting. I was in total disbelief. I could not believe my eyes. I was like, what a damn game and what a moment in sport. It was absolutely sensational. And with that victory, I know it brought a lot of people excitement, but I knew it was also going to bring a lot of people despair. And one of those people is Shannon Sharp, who was an avid LeBron James supporter and a Lakers supporter. And after we did our live, I was very interested to see what these people were going to say today when I woke up. So I woke up this morning and I came across a clip from Nightcap with him and Chad Johnson reacting to the game yesterday. And Shannon Sharp, man, he was so upset. He started essentially blasting LeBron James and the Lakers for choking away a 20-point lead. And I was like, damn, he is going at his man. But before we even get into what Shannon said, this video is brought to you by sponsor PrizePicks, which is the largest daily fantasy sports platform in North America. PrizePicks is really simple. Instead of just selecting a team, you just select 2 or more players, pick more or less their projected stats, and then you place your entry. For example, this week, I'm selecting 2 entries. Stephen Curry for more than 25 points, and then I got Anthony Davis for more than 2 blocks and Damian Lillard for more than 4 3-pointers made. PrizePicks is also the only daily sports platform with an injury insurance policy. So for example, if you have a player who gets injured in the first half and doesn't return to the second half, that player gets automatically rebooted. What I also love about PrizePicks is that it offers weekly promotions like Taco Tuesdays. Each Tuesday, PrizePicks discounts select player projections up to 25% to provide even more value. So go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for a first deposit match of up to $100. That's go to prizepicks.com/CLNS, use code CLNS for a first deposit match of up to $100. And remember, whenever you support this sponsor, you're supporting this channel. Thank you. So what we want to do is want to play exactly what Shannon Sharp had to say here on Nightcap, and then we're going to come back and react to his comments. Take a listen to what Shannon Sharp had to say here.
The Lakers had him right where they want him. Anthony Davis started the game 14 of 15 from the field. D'Angelo Russell tied a Lakers franchise record with 7 made threes. LeBron James, 12 of his 26 points in the fourth quarter, along with 12 assists and 8 rebounds, was not enough because Jamal Murray, big shot Jamal. In the first 7 quarters in this series, he's shooting 12 of 40 from the field. He went 6 of 8 and hit the game winner in the fourth quarter, and he was sensational. But the Lakers have no one to blame but themselves for being in this situation because they keep turning the ball over. And I thought LeBron James in the third quarter let this game get away from the Lakers because they went to the switch because Jokic had no answer for AD. They put Gordon on AD. They put Jokic on Rui. Now LeBron has KCP. He's horse-dallying around with the ball at the top of the key. He's looking to pass the ball. Do what you did in the fourth quarter. Do that in the third quarter when you got KCP. There is no way KCP should be able to keep you on the outside. So
you got to take advantage of those situations, especially in the third quarter.
Yes.
You got to. What's the quote you always say about having a lead at a certain time? How much lead you get, how much separation you get at a time like that in the third quarter, then you never come down to a last-minute shot for Jamal Murray to be able to hit a shot like that in the fourth quarter because you've extended the lead in the third and you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. And I thought that shot at the end, I don't understand. There's a 6-second differential in the shot clock and the game clock. Okay, why would LeBron take a shot with 13 seconds on the clock? You still have 7 seconds to play with. You want to give them as little time on the clock as you possibly can. Why would you shoot that shot? I understand he's going for the dagger, but you have to understand you had lost momentum of this ball game. A lot of things happened that was fluky. You get a 3-point lead. You almost get a turnover. Aaron Gordon saves the ball right to Michael Porter Jr. He hits a 3. Like I said, you couldn't script a better game for the Lakers. Anthony Davis give you 32 and 11. D-Lo, I knew D-Lo. I said he'd hit at least 5 threes. He gives you 7. This is a game. LeBron's got to close it. He's got to bring it home. But Yeah, he played well in the fourth, but the third quarter is where you let them make up the difference. You had a 22-point lead.
So you heard what Shannon Sharp had to say. Listen, you could hear the frustration in Shannon speaking. If I'm a Lakers or LeBron supporter, man, I am besides myself right now because the Lakers played a perfect game, damn near. And by perfect, I mean they played so well to the point that they were able to get up 20 points on the Denver Nuggets on their home court in Denver. Anthony Davis was a man-child in the first three quarters. He had 32 points going into that fourth quarter, 30 points going into that fourth quarter. And he was really bothering Nikola Jokic by just attacking him and having Nikola Jokic exert his energy. LeBron was on fire. D'Lo hit 7 out of 11 threes in that game. The Lakers were essentially on their way to win that game. And I was like, how are they going to lose? And to fathom the Denver Nuggets coming back from two double-digit plus leads in consecutive games on their home court to come back and beat the Lakers, I just thought that was highly improbable. And apparently and obviously, I was 100% wrong. In a particular moment like this, Shannon would look pretty bad trying to defend LeBron and trying to pass blame to them. They did it in game one. Most people in the media did it in game one. They try to blame it on the role players. But this one, man, was on their stars. I'm looking at that game, and there are three people I'm blaming for the loss for the Lakers. Darvin Ham for not drawing up enough plays for Anthony Davis to get more touches. He was the best player on the floor. He's been the best player in this series for the Lakers, easily. Number two, the point guard and LeBron for not getting Anthony Davis the damn ball when he was the hottest hand on the court. And number three, I blame Anthony Davis himself because there's no excuse for you not demanding the ball. There's no way you can get lost in the offense. I blame those three people because it makes no sense that AD should have finished that game with 45 points. That's the fact of the matter. Anthony Davis should have finished that basketball game with 45 points. And how they did not find a way to get that guy more shots is beyond me. He's the center, power forward, whatever the hell you want to call it. He can't bring the ball up the court and then shoot the ball himself. No, they have to get him involved. And that is a major, major blunder on their part. In the case of the Denver Nuggets, listen, Nikola Jokic, we got to talk about it. Nikola Jokic is showing you why he's the best player in the world right now by far. Nikola Jokic finished that basketball game with, let me get the full stats. He finished that basketball game, I believe, with 22 points, 27 points, 20 rebounds, and 10 assists with only 3 turnovers, while shooting 56% from the field, 50% from the three. Jamal Murray, who was an absolute no-show for the most of the game, he came on in that fourth quarter and he basically brought that game home. Jamal Murray and what you saw with him was a metaphor of life. Never lose confidence in yourself if you put in the work. Delusion is when you don't put in the work and you have confidence. What you just saw there was real confidence because most superstar players would have stopped shooting. Forget about players or all-stars. Most superstars, if they were having the night that he had, would have stopped shooting the damn basketball. That's just the fact of the matter. But Jamal Murray kept on shooting. It shows a lot of character for that to happen. And I know he's never made an all-star team, but now we're really seeing who the real all-stars are because he's rising to the occasion in the playoffs. I could not believe that the Lakers lost that. Oh my God. What a game. Let me get into this show here. This show was precipitated by or prompted by a thought that I had this morning. Some of y'all like, isn't that how all things are started with a thought? Yeah, well, this particular moment, I'm going to roll with what I just said, and let's just roll with that. But anyway, I forgot what I was thinking about this morning. I was thinking about the loss that the Lakers had in game one against the Denver Nuggets, right? And I was thinking about the coverage of what took place. And how I knew no one was going to really spend any time on the fact that LeBron scored 8 points in that second quarter and had second half and had 7 turnovers in the game, which was more than the Denver Nuggets had in his entire unit. So as I was thinking about that, something occurred to me. And I put up a particular poll on the channel, and I asked the following question. And this started all kind of, I do this. I don't even know why I do it, because I know it's going to start a fight on the channel. So I put up a poll. The first poll I put up was, should LeBron's legacy be affected if he gets swept in the first round 2 years in a row with a top 75 teammate? You already knew that was going to piss people off. Out of the 4,000 voters, 71% of them said yes. 29% of them said no. And that particular poll generated 591 comments. Then I moved to another poll. I said, if Jordan's Wizard years were held against him, shouldn't LeBron's failures at 38, 39, and 40 be held against him too? Of the 2,600 voters, 90% said yes. 10% said no. 300 people commented. And then I finally put up something, which was this. I said, it is amazing when Shannon Sharp, Nick Wright, and Gilbert Arenas were attacking Jordan over his Wizard years. Some of you guys were running around slapping each other with honey. Now, when I say LeBron should be held accountable for his failures at his advanced age, all of a sudden we're being unfair. You can't make this up. And that one generated 555 comments. And as I was going through the comments, some people were saying, man, I never thought about that. But of course, some of the LeBron apologists were saying, LeBron, they never said anything about Michael Jordan's Wizard years. And I was like, what? See, LeBron fans, they'll lie straight through their teeth. They lie like LeBron. LeBron fans, no, LeBron be capping. LeBron caps for no goddamn reason. LeBron is worth well over $1 billion, and he be capping for no good reason. If you're that rich, man, say whatever the hell you want to say. Ain't nothing gonna happen. You rich anyway. But they capping for him. And then I said to myself, let me remind these people of just how much hating they've been doing, because they're the ones that started this narrative of criticizing players in an advanced age, because this is something we never used to do. So that's what I want to focus on. So let me tell y'all how this started. What happened was this. This GOAT debate, this fake GOAT debate had been going on for quite some time. And they knew that they weren't really making up any ground, because they knew all of their arguments were ridiculous. So what did they do? They said, you know what? We know we can't beat Jordan head to head with his prime. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at his advanced years when he was playing with the Washington Wizards at 38, 39, 40. And let's go back and look at those years. And now we were like, wait a minute. We're going to be counting those advanced age, the advanced ages of these players. And they were like, yes, of course we are. Because look how well LeBron is playing at the age 39 and 38 and 37. Jordan could never dream of doing something like this. And we were like, really? And then you already started hearing people like Shannon Sharp say, yo, GOAT could never. And then you started hearing Nick Wright talk about how terrible Michael Jordan was as a Wizard. Then you started hearing other people like, who were some of the names that I listed? Nick Wright, Gilbert Arenas. Gilbert Arenas started cracking his jokes about Jordan at this advanced age and he did LeBron the GOAT and blah, 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 blah. So they started doing this. And we're like, so this is what we doing now? This is what we're doing. This is what these guys did. So I said to myself, well, wait a minute. If we're going to be criticizing Jordan at his advanced age, I think we need to start taking a closer look at LeBron at his advanced age. Well, what happened? What's been happening in LeBron's advanced age? LeBron's was 39. At 37, LeBron had 100 million Hall of Famers on his team. Carmelo Anthony, Dwight Howard, I think Rajon Rondo, who's going to go into the Hall of Fame, himself, Anthony Davis, I think about 5 Hall of Famers. And I think they had 4 top 75 players. They didn't even make the play-in tournament. At 38, 39, Jordan was playing Jahadi White, Juan Dixon, Rip Hamilton, Tyronn Lue, Kwame Brown, and some other players I can't remember. What top 75 players was Jordan playing with? Where were the top 75 players? Then the next season, They make the playoffs by pulling off some crazy trades that worked out in their favor. He still had a top 75 guy. He goes to the Western Conference Finals, gets swept. But nevertheless, he made the Western Conference Finals. And this year, I asked the question, if he were to get swept 2 times, should that be held against him while still having a top 75 team? And then what did LeBron fans say? But he's 39. But I thought we weren't talking about older players. You see, what they want is they want all of the benefits of saying, hey, he's 39 years old, look what he's doing. But if he loses, they say he's 39. But I'm like, well, Jordan was 39. But no, he's 39, but he sucked. So the sword must cut both ways. If you're going to praise him for being 39, you must also criticize him for losing. No, it can only be praising him at 39. So why are we criticizing Jordan? They started this. They're also the same people that started We're Done with the 90s. They've done everything, these people, and none of it is working. The ESPN really put up a poll saying 45% of NBA players said that Michael Jordan's would go 43 or whatever they said, and LeBron James. Who cares? What do fans think? What do the general public think? Most of these guys are just younger players that are going to vote for LeBron. What do people actually think outside of that? The vast majority of Jordan fans think it is NBA basketball fans think it's Michael Jordan. This is the vast majority. But this is the hypocrisy. These guys are the same ones that have been attacking Jordan in his advanced age. Shannon Sharp does it all the time. We even did a show about it recently on ESPN. Gilbert Arenas does it all the time. All the time. Nick Wright has dedicated shows to it. So when they're like, oh, this is propaganda, LeBron fans, they lie like LeBron. That's why they love him. They're all liars. They lie just like him. They capping. They know that they're the ones that ran out there and said, we done with the 90s. What did they talk about? They're the ones that did all of this. And my question is, what happened when we now try to keep the same energy? All of a sudden, got to be a problem. But you dudes are the ones that started it. So let's just keep it. Let's just keep it going. Let's just keep it going. They started criticizing Jordan at an advanced age because they know they had nothing else left. They don't even talk about career-to-career matchups. This debate to me is a sham. It's a hoax. It's made up of glass, smokes, and mirrors. Because if it is a real thing, okay, if you say LeBron is on the level or better than Michael Jordan, make his case. Matter of fact, let me make the case for you. If I'm a LeBron fan saying he's better than Michael Jordan, what would I point to? I would say that what? What would I say? He faced the Warriors, but that's stupid. Okay, he beat the Warriors. Okay, he beat the team that they call the greatest team ever that lost. He beat them. Okay, the 2 Miami finals championships. Well, those are just championships like anybody else would have won any other championships. Okay, so you have that. The Orlando bubble. What is it? Okay. The all NBA team selections. Is it that? The MVPs. Is it that? Scoring titles. The lead in league assists. Is it that? What is it? Or is it that y'all just love LeBron and you want him to be there? What is? I'm trying to think of. Okay, so those are his accolades, and now I'm trying to argue against a guy that did more in 13 years than LeBron has done in 21 years. How am I going to make this argument? He won more championships than him. He won more MVPs than him. He won more finals MVPs than him. He won more defensive players than him. He won more scoring titles than him. He led the league in steals more. He averaged more points than him. He averaged more points in the playoffs. So what are we talking about? He won more gold. Like, I think he won more gold medals, or he never lost Jordan never lost in any serious competition. LeBron even lost in the goddamn Olympics, man. LeBron has lost everywhere. He lost in the finals. He lost in the Olympics. Like, what are we talking? And LeBron has had way more help. LeBron has had over 118 combined all-star appearances as teammates. Jordan has had 8. Do you want me to list them for you? Scottie Pippen, Horace Grant, and Dennis Rodman combined for about 8 combined all-star appearances. LeBron's number is over 100. And LeBron has had more help. And LeBron has melted down in the finals. And LeBron has been swept in the finals. How are you making this argument? What are y'all basing this off of? Because now it seems like y'all are just basing it off of stats. But what about W's, man? What about collapses? I never saw Jordan have those collapses. You can't even, to me, I think having this debate is a foolish one. Do you know the cultural impact that Michael Jordan had on sports and culture? Tom Brady was talking about, I wasn't trying to taste Joe Montana, I was trying to taste Michael Jordan. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? LeBron named his number after Jordan. Like, are you kidding me? Half of these people saying LeBron the GOAT don't even have LeBron James shoes. Y'all are crazy. Half of the people calling LeBron's sons be showing up to Lakers games in Jordans. Are you freaking kidding me? If it was my son and you showing up to the game, that's why I like Steve Ballmer. Steve Ballmer, he's like, we don't have any Apple products. It's all Microsoft. No Apple phones, no nothing. We are staying loyal to the brand. Like, yo, what are we doing? Oh, what can I say? I don't know what's going on. Maybe because I put my Instagram handle on the show yesterday. By the way, if you're not following me on IG, my handle is CTABANZ. If you want to follow the channel on Instagram, it's Dreamerspro, same name as the channel. Some people have been messaging me this morning, talking about, oh, here goes so-and-so face and blah, 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 saying this. We had some people leaving comments on the community section saying all type of crazy stuff and all of that stuff. Yo, man, I know you guys are very disappointed. I know you guys have a lot of frustration, but I'm not the person to point them towards. I wasn't playing. Your guys were playing. You need to channel that in their direction. I didn't make them lose, right? Not my fault they blew a 22-point lead, which is unheard of, which was an amazing choke job. That was a choke job. That was a super duper choke job. I know some people get on Kawhi Leonard and all of them guys blowing that 2-1 lead and talking about they 3-1 lead against the Nuggets and they choked it away. Fair enough. You guys are witnessing a choke job unfold right before your damn eyes. 2 games you lose in a row, being up double digits plus. Well, I think game 1 they were up at 1.14 points or something like that. Last night they were up 22 points and you lose both of those games. That's a choke. And y'all got the GOAT. How y'all lose these games with the GOAT? I'm trying to figure this out. Y'all let me know in the comment section. But anyway, one of the people I was most looking forward to hearing from this morning was Shannon Sharp on ESPN First Take. Why? Because Shannon is an avid LeBron James supporter and Lakers supporter. So I was just so eager to hear what Shannon Sharp had to say. So when they started today's show, on the panel was Molly Karam, Stephen A. Smith, Tim Legler, and Shannon Sharp. And to kick off the show, the person that they decided to go first was Shannon Sharp. And when Shannon Sharp started the show, first of all, you could see that he was very, very upset. He just actually started going off on the entire Laker team. He even went off on his GOAT, the GOAT, LeBron James, for basically making some questionable moves and decisions throughout the game. You know, LeBron that says he never makes the wrong play, that LeBron. He went off on him, man. And I was like, well, Shannon, let him know. Let him know why you mad, son. So for those of you who didn't hear what Shannon Sharp had to say about LeBron and the Lakers, we want to play it for you now, and then we're going to come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to this here.
Shannon, what do you think was the biggest reason for the Lakers game to collapse?
But I'm not going to let y'all have a 20-point lead and then blame the officials that you guys lost. Anthony Davis scored 0 points over the last 19 minutes of the game. In the final 22 minutes of this ball game, they shot 36%, made 12 shots. They had 6 turnovers, 4 assists. That's what cost you the game. Come on, man. In the second half of the ball game, Legs, I know you and Stephen, I don't know if you were home at the time, but what they did is that they saw Yoke had no answer. They switched Aaron Gordon onto Anthony Davis. They put KCP on LeBron. And LeBron hovering around, you know, he got the ball, he gonna present the screen, get the ball, give it to the hand, and he had that dilly-dallying around, backing him down, shot at bull jive after bull jive, turnover after turnover. No, that's what cost you guys the game. When you had a 20-point lead early in the third quarter, that's when you needed to step on their necks. Come fourth quarter, the guys are, hey, Mike Malone take everybody out of the game, say, hey, we done lost this. Let's get ready for game 3. Nah, this was on you, Lakers. Anthony Davis cannot. AD had 1 shot in the fourth quarter. He scored 0 points over the last 19 minutes of the ball game. Rui, I don't know, maybe he talked to Michael Porter Jr. brother, because I think he took the under on the 10 points that the betting sites had him. I'm saying that tongue in cheek, but I'm saying, bro, how you miss that many easy layups? How you have 3 points? Stephen A., I told you yesterday, I said D-Lo going to have at least 5 threes. I say AD will do what he did. LeBron will do what he did. I'm picking the Lakers to win this game for the simple fact, D-Lo. I hate saying this, and they're going to give you all this coaching speak like, hey, we just got to come out and play. When your 2 big guns are firing pretty much all night, and you get D-Lo to give you what he gave you, and you lose the game, there's nothing more demoralizing than that, because we can't play any better from our two big guns, and then we give you D-Lo, set a Lakers playoff record with threes in a game, made threes. Nah, that's on you, Lakers. Give the Nuggets credit because they hung around. Michael Porter Jr. made big shot after big shot. We know what yoke is. Jamal Murray, playoff Jamal Murray. Hey, Paul George, get that man that name. Playoff Jamal. That's his name. Because no matter how bad he's playing, he has 6 points going into the fourth quarter. He ended with 20. That's all you need to know.
So you heard what your man had to say. I just got to say this. Man, I can feel the energy right now. I can feel the energy. Y'all know the energy I'm feeling? Let me tell y'all the energy I'm feeling. I feel like I can literally feel people fuming right now. And they're just sitting back waiting for this Lakers and Clippers, Clippers and Mavericks game to start tonight. And they are hoping and wishing and praying that the Clippers lose or something goes wrong, Kawhi don't play. I can feel it. Bro, please channel that energy in a different direction. We ain't got nothing to do with it. I'm supporting my team. You support your team. Please keep the frustration and the dirty looks and all that stuff. Keep that energy to yourself. But back to the Lakers, man. Listen, Shannon Sharp is 100% right. I do not know how the Lakers lost that game. I'm thinking about it. And I'm like, yo, how did the Lakers lose this game? It is absolutely incredible. I'm trying to think of the psychological place the Lakers must be in right now. You had two golden opportunities to beat the champs on their home floor to really get an advantage in this series. And somehow, some way, with the GOAT on the roster, you find a way to lose. I mean, it is just incredible. How did the Lakers lose that game? I mean, it's unbelievable. Can you imagine how psychologically traumatized the Lakers must be right now? So think about it. Because now the Lakers are saying to themselves, we've done every single thing possible. We played as good as we can, and we can't beat this team. That was the same case last year. The Lakers in some of those games were really, really in those games, and somehow, some way, they found a way to lose. I'm beginning to think of Stephen A. Smith and the Cowboys when he's always, when something can go wrong, it will go wrong with the damn. Do you guys realize the Lakers have lost 10 games in a row to the Nuggets? I saw a stat this morning. They said LeBron hasn't won a game in Denver in 4 years or something like that. This is incredible. This is incredible. And I feel bad for LeBron fans because now you got another person standing in the way of your man winning championships. The one before that was Kevin Durant with the Golden State Warriors. Y'all thought y'all was going to catch Jordan. Never happened. Now y'all got this dude and you got the Nikola Jokic and these boys. Nikola Jokic finished that game with 27 points, 20 rebounds, 10 assists, and only 3 turnovers. Shooting 56%. Are you kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? He was giving them the work. In the first half, he wasn't himself. In the second half, he was like, nah. Y'all are witnessing greatness right now. Absolute greatness. And I know it bothers some people. I see the comments because, you're supporting international players and you're not supporting the brothers. Y'all can kiss my black ass with your ignorant asses. Did y'all not hear me say at the top of this show that I'm supporting the Clippers and Kawhi Leonard, my favorite player? Some of y'all need to get some of that hate out of your heart. Some of y'all need to get some of that prejudice out of your heart. Some of y'all need to get that racism out of your heart. It's okay. It's okay. Just because you feel that way don't mean I got to feel that way, my boy. Nikola Jokic is killing you dudes. And I know Gilbert Arenas and all of them are going to be talking about how many Euros do they have in the All-Star game. Yo, they giving the league that work right now. Now, I'm hoping for the Clippers to win it all. Let's just be clear about that. I'm hoping for the Clippers, for Kawhi Leonard and these boys to win. But it is what it is. Please don't let your emotions, let your racism and prejudice come out in the comments. I'll be reading the comments. Calling me this, calling me that. You know, one dude left a comment this morning talking about, he said something about something tether. I still don't know the exact definition of what that word means. Maybe y'all can explain it to me. This. And he said, what the hell did he say? He said, you're watching our sport or something, and he goes into this thing of, you know, you're Nigerian and what do Nigerians have and what do Nigerians offer to the world? I'm like, this is not even worth responding to. What Nigerian celebrities do people talk about? What Nigerian musicians do people talk about? I was like, this is Meek Mill part 2. You know Meek Mill, when he was like, how do people listen to music in Africa? Meek Mill. This is what you hear. This is what you get when you're a damn fool. You've never traveled outside the country. You don't know anything beyond where your neighborhood and the people that you know. You start saying stuff like that. What Nigerian musicians do they have in the world? It's like, all right, this ain't even worth responding to. Like, what do I need to say? What do Nigerians do? I don't know. They just produce the richest black people in the world. I don't know. One of the most highly educated groups in the United States. I don't know. You know, Nigerians, a bunch of dumb niggas. According to you niggas. I don't know. These are my thoughts. I mean, it's incredible. Like, let's keep it in sports. Let's keep the ignorance and the stupidity and the nonsense out of sports. Why is it bothering you that I want to see Nikola Jokic do good? It means something is wrong with you. Because Nikola Jokic, I'm not looking at him as a white dude. I'm looking at him as a bad MFN basketball player. That's how I see him. He's a great basketball player. My favorite basketball player of all time is Kobe Bryant. He a black dude. I like Kobe just because he's a bad boy. LeBron is a black dude. I'm not really feeling him like that. Has nothing to do with if he's black or if he's white. Come on, man. You got to snap out of it. Go get you some money, man. Spend that energy and go build a business. Stop worrying about who I like and all of that stuff and who I need to like. I'm not going to like who you like because I'm not you. I don't have your experiences. You don't have my experiences. We're two different people. Can we please keep the nonsense out of sports, please? Stop with this bull, you know what, about, oh, this and that. Like, let's stop. It makes you look weak because it shows that you're really bothered by this guy. Let him live. Again, if you feel like Nikola Jokic don't deserve to be at that spot, go stop him. Go stop him. It's that simple. Go stop him. If you can't stop him, then, you know, you need to shut up. This is a story that's a bit startling to me. The reason why I'm saying this story, startling to me, is because we have never produced anything like this before. What am I talking about? I don't like to get into the conspiracy theory aspect of things. I just don't like to do it. The reason I don't is because, not that I'm saying, oh, some of these conspiracies aren't true, is because I usually never have any evidence to go out there and make, you know, these type of claims or say these type of things. So I think it's better that if I don't have any evidence, it's just better I just shut up, right? But today something strange happened. Something very strange happened. I jumped on my phone as I'm getting ready to watch this Lakers game versus the Nuggets. And I jump on my Instagram while I'm uploading some clips. And I follow a bunch of sports accounts. And one of these accounts I follow is SportsCenter. So you know how Instagram has this feature. If you open up your phone, you see it like a post. And if you close the app, not close the app, you just close the app and open up another app without actually closing out that app. It refreshes and it moves to another post. So I open up my phone and I see a post from SportsCenter essentially showing an image of Mike Malone talking about the Denver Nuggets, and it says something about free throws, 500 plus free throws. And then I swipe over, because it was a gallery, to see him talking. And the clip had been up for a few minutes by SportsCenter, and it had about 264 comments. So I tried to leave a comment, and every time I clicked no comment, it said no comment. No, I'm like, this is strange. So I then tried to send the post to our editor in our group chat for him to see it, for him to grab the clip. And he couldn't do it. And I'm like, what just happened here? So then I got back on Instagram after I could get on WhatsApp. I got back on Instagram, and the clip had vanished off of the SportsCenter page, and I couldn't find it anymore. I'm like, did SportsCenter just remove this clip, this post? I'm like, why would they do that? So I jump on the internet to look for Mike Malone to find out this clip of him talking about this. And I come across this clip of him in the post game after game one. And as he's speaking to the press, someone said something like, do you know the Lakers are plus 76 on you guys this season on free throws? And as he was talking, Mike Malone said something that was absolutely startling when he said it. So for those of you who didn't hear what Mike Malone had to say, I'm going to play it for you now, and I'm going to come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to what Denver's head coach Mike Malone had to say here.
Coach, I saw something that said you guys are the first team to beat a team 9 straight times and have less free throws than them, and the disparity is like something like 70 over those 9 games. What can you do to, I guess, make it a little more even at the free throw line in terms of attempts?
Why should we? We keep winning. You just answered your own question. I didn't know that stat, but I'm just basing it on what you're saying. But yeah, I think in the second half we had a total of 0 free throw attempts, which is obviously concerning when you consider all the, we had 30 in the paint we scored, and we had plenty of field goal attempts in the paint. So it's not like we're just settling for jump shots. We are attacking, we are posting, we are playing to the rim, and you would think that that would warrant a few free throws, at least 2. We'll take 2, but that wasn't the case last night. So we just got to stay the course and continue to play the game and attack and play our style. And you hope that there's a payoff at some point. But we went into this series knowing that they had a plus 500 differential this year. And so that's something that has been happening all season long.
So you heard what Denver's head coach Mike Malone had to say. This is disconcerting. That's the word. It is disconcerting to hear that. This man said that the Lakers have 500 plus more free throws than them. 500. What? How is something like that even possible? Do you know how crazy that is? I was looking at the ratio of the free throw disparity in game one. The Denver Nuggets had 6 free throw attempts. The Lakers had 19. That's almost 2.5 more free throws attempts. No, 3.5 more free throw attempts, or 2.5, 3 times the free throw attempts than the Nuggets had. But for Mike Malone to know that the Lakers have 500 plus, how is it? Okay, you heard him say there's a lot of activity that players play around the basket, Nikola Jokic and all of these guys. Ladies and gentlemen, how do we justify this? If we're going to be honest brokers, how do you justify the Lakers having 500 plus more free throws? How? How do you justify it? This is embarrassing. It is an embarrassment. And the Lakers unfortunately have this reputation of, by NBA fans, I repost a lot of NBA content, I see the comments, where people feel like the Lakers are always going to have the referees on their side. This is the sentiment by fans. This is what fans think. This is what fans think. But to have an NBA head coach say that, and for the clip to just vanish off of the SportsCenter account within minutes, it vanished into thin. I couldn't find it. If you find it, please share it in the comment section. I can't find the post, and that's why I saw it. That's why I saw it. How is this possible? Why are they giving the Lakers this type of advantage? And what's even crazy is that this is not the first person that's complained about this. The Toronto Raptors head coach complained about it. I forgot the other head coach that complained about it. You have the Denver Nuggets head coach talking about it. What is going on? What is going on? With that free throw disparity existing, it really shows you just how much better the Denver Nuggets are. Because even with that advantage, because that is an advantage, the Nuggets are still trouncing the Lakers, trampling them, stomping them. This is terrible. And for all of the people that follow analytics and follow all of the data, why isn't anyone that's in the know discussing this? As an NBA fan, I was stunned to hear him say this, to see the post disappear, and then to hear the head coach say, that is crazy. He said, I mean, it'd be nice to get two. Just two. Two would be nice. Do you know what he's saying? He's saying that the Lakers get an unfair advantage by the referees every single game. That's what Mike Malone is essentially saying in plain English without saying. That is crazy to me. He's basically saying they have an unfair advantage. And nobody's talking about it. Nobody's talking about it. We're going to talk about D'Angelo. Do you know how egregious it then becomes for that to be the case? And then for people to still blame these other Laker players, knowing that this advantage exists? That means the coaches know it, they just don't talk about it. They all know it. Wow. I'm speechless. Maybe some people look at me like, hey, man, you're naive. You should have been known this. You should have been known this. Nah, I didn't know it was that bad. I had no idea it was that bad.